Okay, we've all heard the story about Steve Yeager, right? Daryl says that he needed help recording a video and that he sent out a request for some volunteers, and Steve showed up as a volunteer and he helped him record the video, went off the VidSummit, now he has 3 million subscribers. But there's a few things you probably didn't know, like this is the video that was recorded. And if you pause it at just the right second, you'll notice this is my wife, this is Steve, and this handsome fellow is me. Today I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. Now we're outside. So that's the rest of the story. Steve was not the only person to volunteer to go out and help Daryl that day. I was there, and so was my wife. And you know what the other thing is? He's not the only person that's benefited from VidSummit. So I think that in order to kind of put context to my experiences with VidSummit, I've gone twice now, I think it would kind of help to tell you guys a little bit about kind of like how I got to this point. Yeah. So I actually started out my professional career as a translator, Spanish to English translator. I mostly worked on video games. I worked on some pretty big, mostly worked on like MMORPG type games. And at the time I started using YouTube to do like little mini tutorials. So like some of my colleagues wanted to know how I made my website. And so I made my very first Weebly tutorial showing people how to make a website as a translator, like a translator profile type thing on Weebly. That was like my very first YouTube video. Actually, come to think of it, my very first video was on how to hack a translation portal to get more work. Whoops! I started picking up new clients from these videos, right? And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And so as I picked up new clients, I started picking up new translators. I started hiring people to help me just because I couldn't handle the workload all by myself. And within a few years, I had 650 translators on staff. And we covered 19 and a half different languages. The half is whether or not you count Castilian as a full language or just a dialect, but that's a subject for another day. And that's when I met Steve, and that's when I met Daryl. And it was a really cool experience. Steve was a great guy. He had like 200 subscribers at the time, 300 subscribers at the time. I had 500 subscribers. Like, don't worry, Steve, I will teach you the ways of SEO, because I was studying SEO at the time. And he's got a few more subscribers than I do now. I asked him if he remembered much about me being there, and he had this to say.
Triston who?
So one night I was watching YouTube. Wow, what a surprise, right? And I came across augmented reality technology apps. Someone was just doing like a TED talk on augmented reality apps, and I thought, this is so cool. Like, I know a little bit of like website stuff, and I knew a little bit of so like some of the marketing stuff, and I knew a lot about translation. I thought I could use this to create like the ultimate translation like experience, right? I can create multilingual experiences for like zoos and museums. Like you can go to a zoo and you can scan the little plaque thing and then translate a version that would pop up using augmented reality. And then that way we can make zoos and museums and all these other like cultural locations multilingual, and we can make it like super inclusive, so then like even people who are like hearing impaired who can't hear like the tourist, or people who are visually impaired who can't like actually like read the signs or whatever, like we can make it so that way they can actually hear and experience these things just like everybody else. And it was really cool. And so I shut down the translation agency and I started working on this project. We called it Project Chew. We named it after my dog, because I am not good at naming things. And then I spent years building this, and then one day I came across Bluetooth beacons back when that was like the big thing, and another YouTube video recommended it. So I dove like 100% into Bluetooth beacons, and I became like the beacon person. Like I was doing consulting. I did a pitch for Universal Studios talking about Bluetooth beacons, and you know, we did stuff for like NASCAR, and we did like all these really cool projects. So like all these really cool things that we were getting ready to build. And like that's when I got my first VidSummit ticket, right? Digital passes, because LA is far away and it's horrible driving there. And so I made a new YouTube channel talking about Bluetooth beacons. And I started making like a course. I built a course and I started selling that. And I had like 100 people buy it. It's like, holy bananas, this is so cool. And then last year, in October, Google, who's the one who built like the Bluetooth beacon platform that everybody was using, said, oh, we're shutting this down. It's like, bye. And so overnight I lost like 70, 75, 80% of my income. Just poof, gone. Poof. And that sucked. fact, I remember sitting right here on this bench in front of this fence, talking to this camera about how I didn't know what I was going to do. We were going to lose everything, and we were terrified. I was terrified. I had bills to pay. I had a rent to pay. I had food to buy, and I didn't know what to do. And this was actually like a week after VidSummit, the 2018 VidSummit. So this was my second one, and I got the digital pass again. And right before they came to shut off my internet, then I sat down and I rewatched all the VidSummit videos. I was looking and hoping and praying for some kind of miracle to make everything better, you know. And these videos were talking about how to use video for business, right? So video on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. They're talking about how to connect with an audience. They're talking about how to create better content so you could spread a message, so you could promote a product, so you can reach a customer. And as I was sitting there watching it, I thought, you know what? Things aren't going to change until we change them. I can't sit here and wait for a miracle. I need to work in order to make this difference in my life. And so we took the 25-30% of income that we had left, and we doubled down. We had a couple of smaller clients that we were doing SEO for, and we said, you know what, we want to try something. We want to see if we can use video more effectively, besides just, making videos and ranking them for, random keywords. We want to see if we can actually do more with it. And we did. We took the advice that we learned from VidSummit, we applied it to what we were doing, and I don't say this to brag, I don't say this for anything else, it's simply just to let you guys know the kind of impact that this had on us and on our business. So year to date for 2019, it's August 15th. I'm a little late sending this in and recording it. We've generated about $25,000 in affiliate sales, which is cool. For our direct clients, we've generated over $2 million in sales, just like 99.9% of that coming from YouTube, from creating better content, from reaching the correct audiences, and for applying the stuff that we learned in VidSummit to what we're doing for our clients. It made a pretty big difference. We were pretty happy about that. And so my goal is to hit somewhere between 3.5 million by the end of the year, and we owe a lot of that to VidSummit. So that's how VidSummit has directly affected me and my business. So let me throw this back to you. A lot of the people who watch my content here on YouTube, specifically this channel, are people who are tired of the 9 to 5. They are people who are tired of working for somebody else. They are people who are tired of being slaves to systems that they can't control. Okay? They're people who are a lot like what I was, because I hated working my 9 to 5. And they are people who are looking to make a change in their lives. And the way that they're looking to make that change is by becoming financially independent through Weebly, through Wix, through WordPress, by taking their business, putting it online, and becoming their own masters. I think YouTube, or video in general, is a tragically underused resource, and I think that's something that's so easy to use when it's used correctly. Like, it's not hard to make a video. It's hard to make a great video, it's hard to make a good video, but it's not hard to make a video, right? And then it's just a question of learning how to use that content, use those videos to reach people, to talk to your customers, to talk to your clients, right? And to show them what you do, to show them the benefits of what you do. And that generates trust, it generates confidence, and it makes everything so much easier. And so if you want to learn how to do this kind of stuff, if you want to learn about using video for your business, if you want to learn about making better content, if you want to learn about getting in front of the right audiences, the best place to do that is VidSummit. So this is my invitation. If you want to do this, there's a link in the description of this video. It'll be in the comment section. I am going to use a bit.ly link just so I can keep track of how many clicks I get, because I'm a data nerd and I want to know that kind of stuff. But like, this isn't an affiliate, this isn't sponsored. There is a contest going on, there's a chance I could win a free ticket, but honestly, I'd do this even if there wasn't. But like I said, things don't change until we change them. And if you want things to change, you need to do something different in order to make that happen. And I think VidSummit's a great place to do that. So that's my invitation to you. What you guys decide to do with it is entirely up to you, but I hope to see you there in LA in October. I'm actually going to try and go in person this time instead of just going online. I found a really good pizza place last time I was there, so we're going back.